welcome to Sports Talk with L-Beasley. You know what just went down. The 2012 NBA draft is over. We know who went where. Now we can start talking about who gonna be the best, who gonna be the rookie of the year, who gonna suck like crap, who gonna be those little players that we don't expect to really do something, be those underrated guys. So basically what I want to do is real brief, it's gonna be a quick show. I just really want to discuss what teams kind of caught my eye in the draft. Because it was quite a few. This was a very interesting draft. I mean, after number one, it was pretty much all speculation and guesses. Maybe you guessed right, maybe you didn't. But at the end of the day, after that first pick with the Hornets picking Anthony Davis, it was an interesting draft. So I'm going to start off with the Hornets. Because they were impressive. The Hornets, I knew they were going to take Anthony Davis. That doesn't matter. He doesn't matter. We knew that. But them taking Rivers, I like that move. I really like that move. Everybody, I've been trying to tell people I like Austin Rivers. It's just I'm very picky about certain teams that he should go to. And the Hornets was one of the teams that I didn't have a problem with him necessarily going to. Hornets, I think, is a good fit for him as a guard, as an as an undersized two guard. I think it's good for him if they do keep Eric Gordon. He can learn from Eric Gordon. He's gonna learn from what's my boy name, Jared Jack. He's gonna learn from Jared Jack from a point guard perspective, and just needs to have a defensive perspective. I mean, this is just a good, he's around Monty Williams, which is the head coach of the Hornets. It's a good way for him to mold and get ready and develop and all that jazz. So I really like that pick. Darius Miller of Kentucky, that was another nice pick. They lost Trevor Ariza, with trading and stuff like that. So I felt like that was a nice little pick. This guy is a role player. He understands his role. He's not coming into the NBA looking to be a superstar. He played his role in Kentucky. He was influential on their team, and I think he's going to do the same thing on the Hornets. Boston kind of reminded me a little bit. It's very ironic how they kind of reminded me how the Patriots acted in the 2012 NFL draft, actually. Most time Boston kind of sits back. Not necessarily that they don't get good guys. It's just, they don't necessarily always go out the park and we're like, ooh, Boston. So Boston kind of reminded me of the Patriots, which, two Massachusetts teams representing. Boston did very well. They took the the guy who kind of got downsized a little bit in Jared Sullinger, which was nice. I think that's a good fit. He can learn from Kevin Garnett and whatnot. They also took Pat Mello, which is another great person to learn from Kevin Garnett, and it's just building for the future. I mean, that's what Boston pretty much was showing me in the draft. They're building for the future. They understand, and and they also got Chris Joseph, the wing from Syracuse. So basically what those three picks told me were they're looking to get that young depth that they know they need, but at the same time they're building to the future, because we all know Paul Pierce and Kevin maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit more left in them. So they're looking towards the future, and what better way for Chris Joseph, Pat Mello, and Sullinger to all learn from these great players like Paul Pierce, like Kevin Garnett, and obviously Rondo's gonna love having some of these additions to the team. Houston did very nice, and everybody who's been following the trades or the free agency battle, even though free agent hasn't officially started yet, knows that Houston's been trying to get Dwight Howard. So they did all this moving, selling, whatever you want to call it. They were all over the place with these picks, and they couldn't get Dwight Howard like they wanted. But I kind of like what they did with the draft. They went and got Jeremy Lamb, which I felt was a good pick for them. They get another wing guard, which is something I think they need, because that's really the whole thing with Houston. We don't really know where half these guys are going to be on Houston, because most of them are for free agent, so they can get traded. They're restricted or they're unrestricted. So that's the whole thing with Houston. We don't know where some of these guys are going to go. They got Terrence Jones out of Kentucky, which I like. Like I said, Jeremy Lamb and Terrence Jones are both elite wings. I think they have the potential to be great in this league. They just need somebody to bring it out of them. They also got Royce White. So they got pretty much all wings, but I think they need scores. And I think maybe they're looking, maybe we can trade Courtney Lee in them, but if we don't, at least we know if we want to trade them eventually, we have these guys. The Warriors silently had a nice draft. They didn't necessarily go out there and get those major players, with the exception of Harrison Barnes. But he's iffy because we don't know if he's really going to have that motor like we want him to. But they went and got Draymond Green, which was a nice pick. I believe Ezeli, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Fistus Ezeli. He was another nice pick out of Vanderbilt, which is another strong big man. He was good. I like that one. I really just like the Warriors. They did that kind of that underrated thing. They went and got some role players who they know will fit their team. It's going to work well for Mark Jackson. The Bucks, I like what the Bucks did. They understand, we need that. We need a scorer off the bench, or at least a nice role player off the bench, and they need somebody to kind of get in that post and kind of replace Bogut a little bit. So they went and got Deron Lamb and John Henson, which were good picks. Blazers, I like what the Blazers did. Blazers went and got that point guard, Damian Lillard, out of Weber State, which is something I said they desperately needed. I think that's one of the things that holds Blazers back, is having that elite point guard, because Raymond Felton, to me, just didn't get the job done. They went and got Myers Leonard from Illinois, which was another good pick because they kind of have somebody to accent LaMarcus Aldridge, and he also good defensively. And then they got Will Barton, which was another good pick, another scorer. So if you do trade some people, you lost Jamal Crawford, or you're about to lose Jamal Crawford, so that's another option. Cavaliers, Cavaliers and the Mavericks did some trading, but at the end of the day, the Cavaliers ended up with Deion Waiters, which is little miniature Dwayne Wade out of Syracuse, and they ended up with Cody Zeller after trading some picks to the Mavs. I mean, I like this one. I kind of would have liked if they had kept their picks too, but I get where they're going. Zeller, I have my ups and downs with about Zeller, but we're gonna see what he does. But if he can be consistent, especially offensively, he can be a nice addition to the Cavs. And Waiters, I mean, this is another score for Kyrie Irving, which I like. The Mavericks, they got the picks: Jared Cunningham, Bernard James, and Jay Crowder. Now I love Jay Crowder. I mean, we're talking like another Fairfield right here who plays for Denver. This guy is electric. He's doing good, so I like that pick for the Mavs. And then I just want to talk real briefly about some of the one picks that some teams only had one picks, and those picks really stuck out to me. The Thunder with Perry Jones. Woo! Did y'all get a steal? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I know he dropped because people had questions about can he be consistent and whatnot. I think he can, and I think Thunder is exactly the team to bring it out of him, being surrounded by Westbrook, Harden, Kevin Durant. Look out for the Thunder. Suns going to get Kendall Marshall. I like that. Obviously, you're about to, for the most part, it's looking like you might lose Nash, and even if you don't, it's still great for Kendall Marshall to lose it. Learn from Steve Nash, but if not, you have a nice point guard who can lead this team, or at least begin to learn how to lead this team. The Bulls, Marcus Teague, good pickup. Obviously, we know Rose is going to be out early in the season, so this is a good pickup. And once Rose does get back, this is a great learning tool for Marcus Teague. And once again, you just don't have to feel like once Rose does come back, he has to be on the court 24/7 because Marcus Teague can lead this team. And lastly, I want to talk about the Spurs. Marcus Dedmon from Missouri, great pickup. I think he can learn a lot from Tony Parker and Ginobili. Good stuff. Good pickups. So overall, I was very impressed with this draft. If you want me to discuss it more in detail, let me know, and I'll come back with a full show discussing the draft. Or if there's a team that I didn't discuss and you want me to discuss, let me know. You know what it is. Tweet me, message me, email me, whatever. You know what it is. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you thought. You agree, you disagree, the jazz. So, my email, my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook information, all that's going to be on the credits. So you know what it is. Let me know. Thank you for tuning in to this sports segment of Sports Talk with L-Beasley.